What's up guys, Americana back here with another video. Price is one thing, but when the monthly MACD changes direction, it is time to pay attention. We are 2 weeks away from one of the most bearish signals that Bitcoin can print, and if it confirms, the bear market is not a debate anymore. With that being said, let's hop into the video. I am trying to do a good job of mentioning this in every single video this week, but please make sure you go check out my other videos, right? Everything is mixed right now. Everything is mixed. We still have an opportunity to reclaim $98,000. We still have an opportunity to flip some of these indicators that we're going to talk about. And then we still have dynamics within the market that point to this is not like a normal bear market. So make sure you go check those out. I also have some videos that, hey, if this does confirm as a bear market, how should you play it? How should you play it from this current time now? I tried to dive into a couple different scenarios, talk about if you bought at this time during the market, maybe you do this. If you did this, maybe you do this. Because I know everybody's situation is going to be different. So I try to kind of catch all, cover all in that video. But make sure you check out my other videos this week. I have some mixed videos, the good, the bad, and then I have what your actions should be based on those things happening. So make sure you go check those out. But let's get into this video here. We have on chart, we have the monthly Bitcoin chart up top. We have Bitcoin dominance in blue, and then we have the monthly MACD down here. All right, I have it toggled on to logarithmic mode just to make it a little bit easier to see, but I don't want you guys to think I'm using some wacko MACD down here. But anyways, let's talk about if we do get this monthly cross on the monthly MACD to confirm, which would happen at the end of November. What does that mean for the market? Historically, it's only pointed to being in, one of three places. I talk about, there's another video this week, like if this is a bear market, where are we at? Things like that, what to expect from here. Each of these places is very close to where we pointed to in that video as well. So it's good to see those things line up, different indicator, different time frame, lining up with similar places that we would be if we do get this monthly MACD cross to confirm at the end of November. So you'll see in other videos that I talk about, we have a chance to reclaim or fix some of the things that we've broken with closing underneath 98K. It's going to have to happen quick, only because that's a good sign of actual trend reversals if things happen fast. But we also have 2 weeks until this confirms. This is something that if it does confirm, I'm not sticking around for, right? This is pretty good confirmation of a bear market being on the monthly time frame. It's pointing us to being in similar places. Initial sell-off somewhere within the chop phase just before capitulation comes in. So I find that interesting. You're halfway almost through a bear market if this thing does confirm, which is a little bit odd to me in my opinion, but we're not going to bring that up in this video. Another thing to point out, there's no bullish spin you can put on this. So if we look at the weekly chart, okay, you can see every cycle we've kind of flipped back and forth, weekly back into red. Even in here, a lot of people are pointing to weekly MACD crosses in here as cause for concern, and really it doesn't concern me because it's gonna roll over when it needs to or wants to roll over. But when we get it on the monthly, that's been a very strong signal, right? It's not one that I would want to fade, and it's not one that I think could get corrected easily. If we close the month down here and we get this confirmation on this, right, and I end up letting go of my bags or selling or something like that, and we bounce higher, I guess I'm the fool, but it's never happened, right, in the history of Bitcoin. I could pull up a lot of examples too of just stocks or altcoins or other things pulling similar situations to this. Yeah, it would show similar things, just not very good. So weekly things, losing 98K on the weekly time frame, losing the 50 MA on the weekly time frame, those things can be fixed. Those things can all be fixed this week. We still have our dynamics. We still have Bitcoin dominance showing us what we want to see. We still have DXY right where we want to see it. We have other fundamental things coming from the economy, quantitative easing, rate cuts, all these things, right? And I'm not going to argue bullish or bearish on those things. I'm strictly going to stick to the technicals and the chart. But the point is, the weekly stuff we can kind of fix. These higher time frames, like monthly. I'm curious to even see what quarterly looks like. All right, not too bad, or not really any alpha there. But one thing I guess we can talk about too, and I pointed out in other videos, I apologize, everything is kind of all over the place this week. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm doing. I'm going to mention it in every single video. We have good, we have bad, right? We have things to point to of like how to manage the situation. And then we also have things to point to of, what am I trying to say? How this bear market is just completely different if this is to be a bear market already. If it is to confirm as a bear market, how is it vastly different? You can see that just simply looking at Bitcoin dominance. Same reason that we were able to call top in here at these range highs is the same reason why we were able to call bottom in here at these range lows. Where are we now? Somewhere in between. We've never had it, bottom out somewhere in between, whether we're right here, obviously kind of different because we're not going to be that low on the front end, or mid-range right here. We've always had this breakdown into the range lows. We've already had monthly cross on Bitcoin dominance, but you can just see, just eyeball test, these things are not anywhere near the same place when they go to the range low bottom, chop around, and then when the top does come in, these things are starting to get on the rise again. We just had a decline, right? This is going back to like beginning of June. It was our first step down, and we have not got down to these range lows, but we do respect things that we see on higher time frames. We do respect price losing key levels on the weekly time frame. So make sure you go check out those other videos. You'll know what I'm talking about and things like that. I think that's it for this video. Like I said, make sure you guys check out my other ones this week. Everything's kind of all over the place. So if you have questions that I can get answered, let me know in the comments. I do think it would be super beneficial for you guys to be able to access all of these videos as soon as possible. So if you don't want to wait around until Friday for the last one to come out, more than welcome to join my free Discord. I actually post all of them in there early at the beginning of the week or as soon as I record them. So if you do want to check those out, more than welcome to. Just have to click the link in my bio up here. And yeah, you can go ahead and get joined. Like I said, if you guys have questions, just let me know in the comments and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.